What's up, guys? Luca here. Luca Teal, yes, the Ashen one, the Ashen Lucario, the Ashen Luca. It's me. I'm here with another episode of the show. Joining me today, as always, is Singer. And we have a doozy of a show. There's a lot of things that happened this week. That have me scratching my head a little bit. I'm not gonna hold you. There's some very strange individuals that exist on the internet. I am one of them. But you know what? I keep my strangeness to myself, okay? I keep my degeneracy to myself, But these people, for some odd reason, maybe because it sells, maybe it's because it's the most popular thing to do, but these people, they're all like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna say the most just insane. I'm just gonna have the most insane hot takes and just spew it, right? Takes that don't actually make any logical sense. That if you apply just a little bit of logic to it, it just completely falls apart. Those kinds of takes where it's like I feel like someone is just saying something because it's the most popular mentality to have, or another person is saying something because it's truly what they believe in, and maybe they're just trying to prep their audience for their own little reveal, right? So there may be that. I have seen some back and forth between the woke and the anti-woke folks after about this Kris Tyson situation, and I gotta say, a lot of the language and rhetoric being used, I saw it on the opposite end with the Doctor Disrespect situation. It's just very interesting. Rules for thee, but not for fucking me, right? So there's just a lot of stuff that's been going on, and I just don't get it, I guess. Like I don't understand it. Why is it the money? Is it the views? Is it the popularity that just has people coming out with these takes where it's just kind of like, what are you fucking saying right now? Like, what is going through your mind that makes you think that this is okay? And then it's like we have people like Ninja who has a normal fucking take, and people are mad at him for respecting his marriage, respecting his wife, right? But people get mad at him about that. His take is considered even though it is a normal fucking take. But then like people like a fucking MoistCr1TiKaL and Sneako can come out and say shit, and it's just kind of like where is the fucking logic here? Where's the fucking logic? And there's no logic. There's no logic. And people are like, "Oh, that's fucking great. That makes perfect fucking sense." What? So, we're going to talk about all of that stuff. I'm going to give my fucking take on it. I am just absolutely blown away by the mentality of a lot of people in this space. And it really is one of those things where what's his name? Cat Williams, he was just like, all that is in the dark will come to light, and that's really what's happening here because we have had multiple instances. We have had multiple instances of freaking content creators I have never even heard of being exposed for messing around with teenagers. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like, oh, okay. Oh, another one. Another one. Another one. Like what is happening right now? And it's like it was just because the times in which all of these allegations took place, things were a little bit different back then in terms of like how social media was. So it's just like, was it just a different mentality where people, because they were openly saying this shit in public, right? But they didn't get any backlash for it because it was the time that they existed in, where it wasn't, I guess it wasn't seen as fucking weird to be making sexual jokes with a bunch of kids and teenagers. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what the hell is going on. And then Ubisoft comes out and they apologize about like the Assassin's Creed thing, and I'm just like, man, I definitely don't care about that. But we're gonna discuss it because I saw a lot of people were actually upset about this. I saw people say, "Oh, why did they apologize? It's not actually real Japanese people upset about this," and da 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 da. And I'm just kind of like, I think that they should not have apologized, mostly just because it's just kind of like, so I guess maybe y'all didn't consider that there would be some fucking backlash here for including Yasuke. Perhaps not. Just given how the people are in this space that we exist in currently, everyone makes a big fucking deal about everything. Shit's just fucking weird all the time, dude. And it's just kind of like, oh, I'm going to get upset about this completely innocuous, not a big deal sort of thing. These people aren't even going to fucking play the game. And I feel like, you know, a lot of the time we are missing the main issue. And the main issue is that Ubisoft is a fucking money hungry corporation. That's what the main issue is. You know, we should be side eyeing them because of those fucking costs. But again, everybody cares about fucking Yasuke. I've seen a bunch of racist comments. And of course, it's not all the people who have an issue with this. Not all of it's about racism. But you can't deny that there's been a bunch of fucking racist comments. And I saw someone do a AI manipulation where they put George Floyd's face on Yasuke. And I'm just like, man, that is in such bad taste. But people are like, oh, it's just a joke. It's so funny. But then you make a joke about fucking conservatives. You know what I'm saying? You make a little jokey joke about some conservatives, and suddenly everybody's fucking crying. You know what I'm saying? I had people trying to police my fucking language a couple days ago. I'm like, not the anti-snowflake brigade trying to police my fucking language. What's going on, man? It really goes back to how I think that a lot of the time when it comes to fucking, I hate radicals. I will always hate radicals. There's no logic there when it comes to people with radical mentalities. And that's just how it is with a lot of the people in this fucking space. Now, again, I choose to mind my business, keep it moving. I'm very low key, you know, I could obviously very low key, right? Just keep to myself. I don't care about the majority of things that come out anymore. I find that boring. But it's just like I still see things and it has me like my eyes widening, me scratching my head and just wondering like what is going on? But I don't know. I mean, what do you think so far, Singer?
I'm gonna keep it 100. I have no idea what's going on because I haven't checked out Twitter, seen all this on Twitter, because I don't go on there that much anymore. The only thing I know about is the Ubisoft thing, and
Mm.
the Ubisoft thing is crazy in of itself. But so the only thing I really speak on is Ubisoft thing.
Go
So
ahead.
um, it's crazy how they put in an apology because like they should have stuck to their guns. um you took the decision you took. It's a real character, so you know they're trying to go that whole historical thing. um but it's the comment section and it's the people pretending to be Japanese,
I know
and
it's
then
so bad.
they go through their replies, and they've been England, nothing but English tweets, and all of a sudden they're Japanese and they're typing in Japanese, which they clearly just copy and pasted from Google Translate. um but it's wild. And then when you actually look at the Japanese accounts, they're actually Japanese. They don't have a problem with it. They're like, "Oh, yeah, cool."
You hear about the guy
We,
who
we, we,
pretended to be Japanese and got exposed? You hear about him?
oh yeah, a lot of them did.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of them.
They're a bunch of
Um,
fucking dweebs, dude. They're fucking
but
dorks.
the thing is, Yasuke is celebrated over there. Like they're cool with it in Japan. So I don't know why anyone else would have a problem. Like they're like, "Oh, yeah, this cool." But and then obviously ignore the Japanese woman as the other
Yeah,
protagonist.
Naoe, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, just ignore that and just focus on the black dude, right? I don't know. It's a wild thing. I can't wait to play the game. Um, and I don't mind the fact they did him in the whole samurai thing because most historians agree. He is a samurai. Um, doesn't matter how you look at it. So I don't know. It's really weird. And then people try to get into their bag of what a samurai is. They're like, oh, but the people wouldn't be looking up to a samurai. And it's like, well, the samurai was a social class above the commoners, right? So, yes, the common people would
But
be
still slaves, I believe.
respecting them. Yeah, well, they serve the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
whichever one they serve. But they're above the common person, right? So the common people will treat them really, really well because, good, but hey, that's a whole thing. Go and research into Japanese history. But these people just, you know, racist. That's what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
honestly speaking, I don't even give a fuck enough to go and research. I mean, I've heard of Yasuke before. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not the first time I've heard of fucking Yasuke. So it's like for me, I see this and just kind of like, Of course, people are gonna have a problem with this, of course, of course. Now, again, I'm not saying that everyone who has an issue with it is racist or anything like that, but I will say that there's quite a bit of racism. And anyone who denies that is a fucking idiot, in my opinion. So I just think this shit's fucking unfortunate. Honestly speaking, there is no real reason to be upset about this, to be honest. Like, Assassin's Creed does not make any fucking sense. Okay, I had fucking Leonardo da Vinci helping my ass when I was playing as Ezio back in Assassin's Creed. Which one was that? 2 or Brotherhood, one of those, right? And
Brotherhood.
so yeah, the best one. So for me, I see this, I'm like, "Oh, cool," and I move on. And people would just, I don't know, like, "I wanted to play as a Japanese person." I'm like, "You can play as a Japanese person. It's an Naoe." But they don't acknowledge her because she's a her. Maybe the game would have done or been better received if one of the characters was a Japanese man and then the other one was Yasuke, right? Maybe that would have been better received. I don't know. But I have a feeling that people would still be fucking bitching and moaning about this. Like,
Well,
this is
the
just like a non-issue.
crazy part is it's actually a double whammy, Assassin's Creed Shadows, right? Because you have a woman on one side and a black dude on the other.
Yep.
Like that's a 2-for-1 special right there. Like, these people are gonna go off the deep end, and even if the other character wasn't Yosuke, it was someone else, right? They'd still have a problem with it, I'm sure.
The
Because
focus would be if Yasuke was not there, the focus would be on Naoe being a chick, dude. I
yeah,
guarantee fucking you.
and it's like, oh, women can't be shinobi and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we already know. But Assassin's Creed has never been that really historical. Like, when was the last time you saw someone jump off the Oracle of Delphi's tower and land in some hay? No one was jumping off there, landing in some hay, jumping off the Eiffel Tower, landing in some hay. Conveniently placed hay. And you survive the fall. I mean, realism.
It's just very I think it's just very silly and I think it's very disingenuous for people to argue against it, honestly speaking. I think a lot of the people who are having an issue with it don't actually have a real issue with it. They're just trying to appeal to their fan base because their fan base is full of people who are fucking nuts, honestly speaking. I'm not gonna hold you, man. And it's like they're people who don't know the difference between like uh woke stuff versus like or I'm sorry, who don't know the difference between pandering versus like, okay, it's whatever. And the thing of it is, Ubisoft is not a woke company. They are fucking evil. You know, the amount of like stories of fucking sexual harassment, abuse that has come out of that fucking Ubisoft is absolutely atrocious, bro. Now they definitely could have chosen Yasuke as a way to virtue signal. I believe that. I believe that could be the case, right? But at the same time, it is what it fucking is. The game's gonna
Well,
do how it does. Go ahead.
I just had a thought about that. But everyone played Assassin's Creed Origins, right? And no one had
Mm,
a problem with that.
with Bayek.
Bayek, a black dude in Egypt.
That's because
Like,
that was right before people started losing their fucking minds about this shit, dude, and started
my,
just being
then
dumb.
this. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. It's not like you've never played an Assassin's Creed without a black character before. Maybe it's because the setting. You're like, oh, it's Egypt, Africa. Okay, black. Yeah, makes sense. But then it's it's just like you had some Greek characters for Odyssey, you had some Norse for Valhalla, which makes sense. So you have what is rightly Japanese for Japan. Like, I see no difference.
Yeah, again, because Yasuke is a fucking historical
Yep.
person or whatever who exists,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, then I think about like fucking Assassin's Creed 3, and you had Connor there. I mean, the most fucking annoying protagonist. I could not stand Connor. But anyway, Connor was not fully white. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like, it's not like this is the first time Assassin's Creed has had um, people of color characters. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So I just think the entire thing's dumb. Like, honestly speaking, I think that if you want to buy this game, whatever. But I also think that, I think there are some people who want to buy the game to support it because of folks hating on it. And I'm just kind of like, damn, like I would just wait for a sale. I'm not gonna hold you, bro. Like, if this game doesn't do well, And people are like, "Oh, go woke, go broke." You know, I'm not gonna even be mad if the game doesn't do well because again, like their fucking practices when it comes to their pricing structures are fucking horrendous, you know? So it's just like, yeah, but the game will probably do well because again, I did see some people saying that they were gonna support it because of this shit happening, with people being mad about it. I saw some
The thing,
folks. Go ahead.
okay.
No,
I
no,
was
no,
gonna
go.
say you don't have to wait for a sale. Ubisoft Plus,
Oh, that's
day
true.
one. Pay the 15, in and out, cancel, boom, done.
No,
You
you're
beat the
right.
game. Because you could beat it in a month, easy. Easy. Right. So
So
yeah, just pay the 15, in you go, and you don't have see, this is how you get around Ubisoft's ridiculous pricing strategy. Shout out to Ubisoft making a loophole for PC players. We appreciate you.
the only players that these corporations fucking care about, bro. I'll keep it real with you.
I mean, to be fair, we do get the best of everything. Like and all these features are just on PC, and they're never brought to console. And you have to wonder why Ubisoft Plus hasn't been brought over to console, right?
So
I
they can
mean,
milk the console players for as much as they want.
mm-hmm.
Also, Ubisoft's launcher is fucking trash, dude. So I don't know. You know, like there's also that something to keep in mind for that as well. So just a lot of
It's all right. It's all
bro.
right if you just want to play one game.
I was playing fucking Far Cry 3 on it. My game crashed and it corrupted my file. I could not get back into the game, man.
Wow, wow.
I was upset, dude. I was fucking
Rightfully so.
heated, man. I was mad. I was mad for at least a month. So, you know, I was like, I'm never playing a game I guess I'm never playing a game from Ubisoft Online again. Like I can't do that shit, man. Um, so yeah. You know, it is what it is. It's kind of whatever. Let's read the statement in its entirety and give our thoughts there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is a long ass statement. I don't know if I want to read all this. Okay. To our esteemed Japanese community, okay, we want to say thank you. We've seen mostly positive, but we saw some criticism. Clarify. We've put in a significant effort into ensuring an immersive, respectful representation of feudal Japan. But like, you know, Assassin's Creed has always been factual representations of history or historical characters. Instead, we aim to spark curiosity, encourage players to explore and learn more about the historical setting we get inspired for. Um, AC Shadows is first and foremost designed to be an entertaining video game that tells a compelling historical fiction set in feudal. Like this is just a sorry. Like I know I keep stuttering. It's because this is a dumb fucking statement. Like of
Mm-hmm.
course everybody knows that Assassin's Creed is a video game. You know, like and anybody who is historical accuracy shut up. Okay, like this shit has never made any fucking sense. Has never made any fucking sense. I've played several Assassin's Creed games, and especially when Desmond was still there, shit started to go off the fucking deep end. All right, I was just like, oh, okay, what is going on? So I just think that anyone complaining about historical accuracy is fucking lying. They don't give a shit about that stuff. They're just kind of like, why is this up in my game?
I mean, you're not wrong. You really aren't wrong on that one.
So I can't believe they were fucking doofuses enough to go out and apologize for this shit. They're fucking losers for that, dude. What a lame thing to fucking do, but it's kind of like whatever, you know. It is what it is. When it comes to a lot of this stuff. So I don't even have the energy to read through the full post. I don't care. It's a dumb
Mhm.
they said a dumb thing. So this is stupid. I saw
To be
people like have some
Go
backlash against it. They were like, "Why are you apologizing? There's not any like real people actually upset about this. These are all trolls, all this stuff, right?" And
Mhm.
again, I'm just kind of like, yeah, these, you know, you're fucking nerds for apologizing for this shit, dude. You should never apologize. You know, I don't know. That's just me. What's up, Slow?
Sup?
No, they definitely should never have apologized. Like
Nope.
they should, in matter of fact, they should have made all the promo material just Yosuke. That's it. Just make it the centerpiece. Just make every single piece of promotion material that, just to annoy them even further.
I actually think it was part of their marketing strategy. to kind of, one, we already know Ubisoft is more like the people who are complaining about AC Shadows than the people who are defending it, right? We already know the leadership there are racist, are sexist, are basically, they are the company of the people who are complaining. Like, this should be your favorite publisher by the way they are and how they have traditionally been with their games. So we
creating
know,
women is too difficult.
right?
Doing the
They don't care. So it would make sense to me that they already kind of knew what kind of talk that this would generate, and that it would get the game even more attention than it would typically already get. Assassin's Creed sells great every single time they drop it. So it's like to a lesser extent Hogwarts Legacy. Like all the talk about all this stuff, stupid. It was stupid. It was dumb. The people who were going to play Hogwarts Legacy did not hear anything that your little dumbass had to say. And the game was the most sold game the year it came out. AC Shadows is going to do the same thing. The majority of the people who play Assassin's Creed, they just play Assassin's Creed, bro. Whenever it comes out, they don't pay attention to any of this other stuff. They don't know about a petition. They don't know that some of the architecture is actually from China origin instead of Japan, and people are upset about that. They don't know. They don't care. They don't give a damn. Let me go play Assassin's Creed and cut someone's throat from a bush. That's all they care about. So it's just like, it's going to sell regardless. And anyone trying to, but I think Ubisoft did this because, hey, we know that you guys stopped talking about our game. So let's make a fake apology. That's not even really apologizing about Yasuke. We just said, we just basically acknowledged your feelings. We didn't really apologize.
Sorry that you feel that way.
Yeah, but we just acknowledged that you felt that way, which we shouldn't have done. We should have just ignored you the way women have ignored you traditionally for your entire life, is what they should have did. But no, they acknowledged you, which then have us here talking about this yet again, which just keeps your game in the zeitgeist, keeps your game in the conversation. I feel like they just did that on purpose. And they know it's ridiculous, but it doesn't matter, because in the grand scheme of things, it's going to get more people looking at the game. The more the hardcore audience is going to do stuff like you said, Luca. Before I jumped on, I was listening. You said people are talking about buying the game who weren't even going to buy the game before, but they're going to buy it now just despite the morons who are complaining about a black man who was a samurai. Mission accomplished. So.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's all I really gotta fucking say about the situation, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yep.
All right, talk about fucking Ava Kris Tyson. All right, so I'll be honest, I know who Mr. Beast is, but I have not watched. Oh, actually, you know what? That's not true. I watched his video when he was curing the blind. I watched that one, right? But I don't watch Mr. Beast's content typically because I'm not interested in anything that he's doing, to be honest, right? But people have been like preying on Mr. Beast's downfall for fucking years now. I have seen so many think pieces where someone's like, oh, Mr. Beast is evil. I can't prove it. I can't prove shit, but I think he's evil, And it's just like, what are you talking about, So Ava Kris Tyson, who has been part of Mr. Beast squad since the inception, actually, has been exposed for being a fucking freak around minors, right? Now, Ava Kris Tyson is a trans woman, right? I had some people getting a little upset at me, questioning my language, again, trying to police my language, because I opted to use Kris Tyson's preferred pronouns. And the reason I did that is because if you call Kris Tyson a he, you're saying that you say that Kris Tyson's not actually trans, which, I'm not going to get into that aspect of it. But if you say that, that means that Kris Tyson is another man, right? Just another man preying on children, which would once again put him in the demographic, the very large scale demographic of men who prey on children. And it's just kind of like, I think it's important to acknowledge that members of the LGBTQ can be predators. I know there's like, oh, trans people are fucking predators. That's like such a stupid fucking perspective. But just because you fall under a minority group does not mean that you're automatically exempt. It does not mean that you can't be exposed for doing weird and heinous shit. It doesn't mean that you're automatically a good person, you know? Just like if you're not a minority, that doesn't automatically mean you're a bad person. It's just we're people, which means that here's the thing. I've watched a lot of videos on the situation. It really boggles the mind again that people were just like out here saying crazy shit and it was just perfectly fine. Like no one said anything. Like I'm sure people had complaints, but it was like they were widely regarded as fine, you know? And it's very strange to me that Kris Tyson has had like people have known they would have had to have known what he was saying back then, right? Right before Kris Tyson transitioned, right? Would have had to have known what the fuck was going on because the tweets were public, you know? And then there's like a Discord server where shit was even weirder. Honestly speaking, it was giving I'm too lazy to fucking moderate my Discord properly, so I'm gonna get like Chris had a fucking 14? Was it? I don't fucking know. 14, 15, 16. Okay, around that age range. Had two fucking teenagers, right? In his
Too young,
Discord.
basically.
Too young, right? Moderating, and there was like just apparently fucking hentai and just porn just being posted left and right, right? And it's like I feel like it was more so Chris just did not give a fuck and was fine posting this shit and talking about this shit than anything else, you know? And it's like these kids were moderating and were just sharing hentai with this fucking grown ass man at the time, you know? And it's just kind of like, well, they're kids. They don't actually know better. You know, they don't know that they should not be doing this shit, right? Everything is all hee hee, ha ha, kiki. But I also think, I'm going to be honest with you, being in a group of people who just watch like corn together, that's a little strange, it's a little weird. Very strange behavior, in my opinion. We're all into different things, whatever, right? But like doing that and there's children around, like, come on, like, teenagers around, it's just like, what are you thinking, right? So what got me, okay, so then Kris Tyson's, who goes by she now, someone who was in the fucking Discord with Kris Tyson, right? People were just exposing all this shit. And Chris was all like, oh, well, Lava says that he's not a grooming victim, so I didn't groom him, And I'm just like, that's not how fucking grooming works, you dipshit, all right? That's not the alleged victim, whatever. He came out and said, I didn't feel like a victim. Chris did nothing wrong, that kind of thing, right? Here's the thing. People just don't know what the fuck grooming is, right? If you're grooming someone, of course they're gonna fucking defend you. That's what you've been prepping them for. I literally just watched an episode, Law and Order Special Victims Unit. Okay. And like this 14-year-old girl, this 30-year-old man wanted to marry this 14-year-old girl, right? And she's like protecting him. She's like, oh, he did nothing wrong. This is God's will. Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, yeah, obviously she's fucking brainwashed because that's what grooming is, He spent 2 years grooming this girl to get her to be on his side, right? And the parents too, it was the whole thing. So it's just kind of like when people say, well, the alleged victim says it's not abuse, says it's not grooming, therefore it's not. I was just like, are you stupid? Like, what are you talking about right now? If a fucking 7,
they're not stupid. They're pretending to be stupid for the use of trying to gaslight people into thinking that this is accurate.
That's true. That's a good
point. We
like,
see this in the gaming community all the time. Yeah, when it comes to their favorite platform, they act like their IQ is their shoe size. When it comes to critiquing the rival platform, all of a sudden they're Einstein. All of a sudden they want to look at all the details. All of a sudden they want to break down things like do 5-hour, podcast talking about it. It's just like, oh, all of a sudden your brain started working when it came to you criticizing something else. it is what it is. People think other people that they're talking to are too dumb to figure it out.
Well, that's what
It's
I'm
pretty
saying, because
obvious.
like these people will get hundreds of thousands of fucking likes, and again, it's for me. Okay, I saw somebody say, I did see someone say the victim says it's fine. I went to that person's profile. They're 18. Of course, they fucking think it's okay. They're 18. Like they don't know any better. They
Your
don't
brain
know any
hasn't
better.
fully developed yet.
So it's just kind of like, all right, it's whatever, right? I decided to leave that person the fuck alone and move on, because I don't make it a habit of arguing with teenagers if I can fucking help it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm an adult. I'm not supposed to be arguing with kids on the fucking internet. You fucking weirdos, So it's just like, I was just like, okay, whatever. But yeah, so there's been some backlash. Again, I've seen a lot of transphobia. I've seen some big streamers keeping their little mouth shut, taking their little sweet time before saying anything. I've seen that too. And that's
they
because
gotta weigh their platform, Luke. They don't want to see. They can't come out and just they could, but they won't, because they care more about their money and their numbers than anything else. But if they just come out and just condemn it, well, they don't know how many of their fans cross pollinate with Mr. Beast. Oh no! If I come out against it, people might start looking at my YouTube videos or my Twitch streams or whatever. It's just funny, because it's like, kind of saw this with Dr. Disrespect, a little bit, where as soon as Dr. Disrespect admitted what he did, that's when it was like a landslide of big time people going, oh, F you piece of shit garbage human being. And it's just like, but we've been talking about this for like a week or two, but it's just like you hadn't said a word.
Yeah, they wanted to wait for confirmation, which is smart. Honestly speaking, it is. If you have a large platform, it is smart to wait for more confirmation, wait for more
If you want
information.
to protect your platform, absolutely. If you care about that, yeah.
But there's plenty of people who have a lot of subscribers who do care about that. So I can understand it, but at the same time, to at least not acknowledge it when you were so quick to hop on the Dr. Disrespect diss train, and rightfully fucking so, it's just baffling to me. Just have the same energy. The same thing goes for like fucking Sneako. Sneako was like, this is disgusting. Predator, blah blah, predator, blah blah blah, right? Same Sneako that came out and and said that if the parents consent and the teenager consents and the adult consents, I think it's okay for a 21-year-old to marry a 15-year-old. The same Sneako who said that. These people don't actually care about children. I'm gonna just put that out there. They just don't like trans people. They don't like gay people. It's that fucking simple. All right. They always hide behind protecting kids rhetoric, when in reality they just don't like that fucking community. Like, that's it, man. So anyway, I saw some members. I saw some flags. Members of the LGBT, defending Kris Tyson, or saying, I mean, guys, like, everybody's so quick to jump on Kris Tyson, but no one. I saw somebody say everyone is so quick to attack Kris Tyson, but no one is talking about Cody Ko. And okay, the only reason I even know who Cody Ko is,
it's like, who are you talking about?
Exactly. The only reason I know who Cody Ko is because I have literally watched 10 videos of people talking about him. He actually committed a crime, okay? Because he was 25. He slept with a 17-year-old. And the state he slept with the 17-year-old in, it was either Florida or California, right? The age of consent is 18. So he committed statutory rape. He actually committed a crime, right? So it's just like, I have seen multiple people fucking talk about this shit. And so seeing that person say, well, no one's talked about Cody Ko, it's just absolutely, it's such whataboutism that I find absolutely fucking disgusting. Again, the only reason I know who these content creators are is because people have been exposing them for shit, right? So Kris Tyson comes out with this fucking bullshit apology. This is like a Predator gets exposed 101, right? I would like to apologize for any of my past behavior or comments if it hurt or offended anyone. Right? Kris does not actually give a fuck, right? I can guarantee you Kris does not care, okay? It was not my intent. Seeing recent events, we've mutually decided it's best I permanently step away from all things Mr. Beast and social media to focus on my family and mental health. It's always talking about focusing on your mental health, man. Fuck you. But anyway, Ava's like, I want to add, I never groomed anyone. The person who gets brought up in these accusations have vocally supported that they are false. Again, like, a grooming victim doesn't know that they're groomed. You know what I'm saying? Like, having said that, I humbly apologize to anyone I've hurt with my unacceptable social media posts, past actions, and to those who may feel betrayed by how I used to act online. But okay, and this right here is fucking groomer predator 101 who's gotten exposed. Oh my god. But to lump these two factors together to create a narrative that my behavior extended beyond bad, edgy jokes is disgusting, and that did not happen. Wow, like, it's completely, why would you even attribute that to me? It's not like I had lolicon on my fucking wall of my house. It's not like it's not like I was publicly supporting someone who drew detailed corn of children, and not just the lolly shit, but actual real life children, right? Keemstar's daughter, right? No, that's like, what? This didn't extend to any real life stuff. What are you talking about? You know? Just completely, like, such an asinine fucking comment, and one that is so reminiscent of guys, I would never actually do anything. That's fucking sick. That's disgusting. Oh my goodness. Mind you, Kris Tyson came out and said, what did they say? Let me pull the, I don't even know where the post is anymore. But they were
I just
talking.
want to say that every time I see these three words put together, bad, edgy jokes, it's always in reference to someone who was on YouTube when YouTube first started, and they were so pressed to get attention that they admit that they said racist or sexist or really like pedophilic kind of comments or things, and they claim it was to get attention, but it's like, why would you want? Were you so, like, why would you even admit that? You're telling me that you were so desperate for an audience that you were willing to bring in an audience of people who were cool with that? You're saying that wasn't you. That doesn't represent who you are, but these are the things that you were saying in order to get people to watch your content. So you're saying that you're fine with catering to these disgusting people that you claim you aren't one of, but that's not you. It's just like, it's either one or the other. You're either that low of an individual to do that, or you were basically just speaking your mind, and you were comfortable enough to do that on a platform that wasn't as big as it is now. And now, what is the chickens are coming home to roost, or whatever the freaking term is when you,
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, it's just like, it's basically what you're doing is you're trying to say, well, I'm not this bad of a person, but I'm like a step above that. Well, I mean, you're still a piece of shit.
Yeah.
You do realize that.
Like, honestly speaking, I saw a lot of the comments that Kris made. Like, again, it was really giving edgy white boy humor, quote unquote edgy white boy humor. You know what I'm saying? But it's also kind of like, why are you sharing hentai with a bunch of people in a fucking Discord? Is this something that white boys do? Singer, can you explain? Is that something y'all did when you were a teenager? Look, Singer's not even fucking here. Okay. Listen, I'm just saying, like, this shit's fucking weird, dude. Like,
no, I am here. No, that isn't what when. No, that isn't something you do.
Yeah, it's just very strange behavior, in my opinion. Again, thank God I was not on fucking Discord when I was a teenager in my early 20s. Like, God, just fucking thank God, right? But just too much, it's just too much. Honestly, I just think that Kris just didn't give a fuck. I think Kris was just saying whatever the fuck she wanted to say at the time, So, again, seeing people defend this is fucking disgusting. Seeing people, again, lump, like, Kris is trans, therefore all trans people are, it's fucking disgusting. Like, it's just seeing people say, well, you haven't talked about this, so why are you talking? It's fucking disgusting. Like, it's just annoying, and I say it's disgusting in the sense that I just don't like hypocrites. I don't like hypocrites. I don't like the hypocritical narrative, right? If you have an issue with one thing, you need to have an issue with the other thing as well, okay? Because if it is all in the name of protecting children, okay, you need to have the same fucking energy Whether it's Dr. Disrespect, who Sneako was fucking defending the freak,
Mhm.
or Kris Tyson. Same energy, right? So, you know, like, there's going to be more exposures as the year continues to go out. I learned about someone else. His name's Zach. Damn, what's his name? Zach Justice? Something like that. I have no idea who the fuck this is, right? But
Yeah, no
apparently,
idea.
when he was 18, he moved into this girl's house because her mom hired him, and she was 14, right? No, was he 18? I think he was 20, something like that. I don't fucking know, but he was like he was older than her, and he met her when she was 14, right? And he was not a teenager at that point. He might have been 20. So he met this girl when she was 14, and then as soon as she turns 18, they start dating. And people are like, "Well, yeah, that's grooming." Yes,
Mhm.
that is grooming 101. And he's like fucking just she came out and she's like, I'm gonna address the elephant in the room. Yes, we did meet when I was 14, but it's not weird like you guys think it is. And I'm just like, this is what
It
I mean.
absolutely is weird like that.
Like,
What are you talking about?
grooming victims don't fucking know that they're victims until it really is when you hit the age that the person you were dating, right? Say, like, if you were in an abusive relationship when you were 16, right? And the person you had been dating was like 23, 24, okay? When you hit 23 or 24, you should be looking at a 16-year-old like, damn, was really tripping, huh? Because why would you I would never do that. Like that is the mentality that you're supposed to have when you hit the age that your significant other was when you were younger, you know? So it's just like this chick came out and saying, "Oh, the elephant in the room, we're gonna address it." You know, it's not weird. Like people don't even know that they're fucking victims, honestly speaking. And you can say I'm not a victim because I personally don't feel like I'm a victim, but baby, you were victimized, okay? Like that shit is not like it doesn't go away just because you personally feel like, well, this didn't affect me. I'm like, I think it did. I think when it comes to these things, it does affect somebody, but they're not even aware of how it affects them. You know, they're not even aware
Mhm.
in what ways it fucking affects them. So shout out to Ronald with the dono. Appreciate you saying another situation was seeing Lil RT. Okay, Mama is getting old. Who is that? Little
No idea.
and underage girls on that balloon challenge. The powers are
What is
trying.
that?
I don't know who the fuck that is. The power that be are trying to normalize groomers and pedos. Yeah, like it's just fucking strange. Because why would you even allow that on your network? It's fucking weird, dude. It's weird. It's weird behavior. So yeah, like people are saying that Mr. Beast didn't know. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. There is like a video of Mr. Beast looking at the lolly art on Chris's wall. So Mr. Beast had to have had like an inkling that something strange was fucking going on. You know?
Mhm.
So I mean, dude, it is what it fucking is. This person, Chris or whatever, I don't know, just was saying some crazy shit, man. Like, if I ever got exposed for talking to younger people, right? I don't know. I can't even imagine doing the whole I'm I'm not like that. I'm not disgusting like that. What are you talking about? You know, like I would never do something that vile. But it's just kind of like you talked about okay, like I can't even repeat some of the shit that Chris had said. And I remember I saw some fuck. There was some cuck in my replies, and he or she, whoever, right, was like, "Oh, but people were okay with James Gunn coming back." I'm like, I understand that some people are okay with James Gunn coming back, but I am someone who has not forgiven him for posting that weird shit. He doesn't even have the excuse of being like young and dumb. He was in his like 40s or 50s when he was making
Yeah.
uh grape jokes about raping 13-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, man, and it wasn't just one or two. It was like 50 plus. So it's like people doing the whataboutism. Unfortunately, I am not a fucking hypocritical cuck, so I will have the same energy and smoke regardless of what social group somebody belongs to, right?
But also, I hate how people do this whole nobody. They over exaggerate. Nobody complained about, and like every time they do that, I immediately think about all the people who were complaining about exactly that when that was a hot topic, and it's just like, who is this nobody? Like, why do you continue to keep pretending like the people who don't fit your argument don't exist? Like, they exist and they were complaining, and you're an idiot. Like, just shut up.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so we're really on Predator 101, but before we get into that, we're going to talk about the Ninja situation, right? So Ninja has a completely normal fucking take, and people freaked out about it. So we're going to play it. So Ninja said this, right? And for some reason, that was considered like a hot take. Radical feminist Alyssa Mercante, who very much enjoys the spotlight, she came out and she was basically just like, this is fueling misogynistic rhetoric. This is saying that women are only out for one thing, only out to get one thing. And it is pushing that narrative that women and men cannot be friends, like something along those lines. Whatever, right? And there was a bunch of people agreeing with her. I said that if this is how he feels and this is what he wants to do, I don't see any problem with it. He's not hurting anyone, right? Like, it's fine. But then I had somebody say, well, but why does he feel that way though? And I'm just like, I don't know why he feels that way, and I don't care, honestly speaking. It has nothing to do with me. But they're just like, well, he's like a fucking deviant who can't control himself around women, right? Because that's the only reason why you wouldn't want to be around women. And it's just kind of like, okay, so let's break this down for a second. Let's say on the off chance that Ninja is a fucking sexual deviant, and that's why he doesn't trust himself to be alone with women, which that I don't believe that's the case at all, right? I don't know this man, but I don't think that's why he does what he does, right? But let's say that he does do it because of that. What's the fucking problem, right? Like, if he's not putting anybody in a situation where they could be harmed, that's something that should be like, okay, like, that's great. He doesn't want to put himself in a situation where someone else gets hurt. There's no fucking problem here. I think the only people who are fucking mad about this are, again, rad femmes and also the women who wanted to suck clout out of him.
Mm-hmm. Literally and financially. It's funny because I just thought about this. Last year, my son was getting involved in a lot of different sports. He's 13, then he's 14 now, and so I'm because like so few parents will be willing to coach and stuff like that. Literally every single sport that he played, and he played about 3 or 4 sports last year. I was asked to be, partially due to the fact that I used to play a lot of those sports as well, to be an assistant coach. And so the process now to be an assistant coach is very different than what it used to be. What it used to be was, hey, you want to be assistant coach? Okay. All right, cool. Sign this paper. You're good. That was it. There was no vetting. There was no background check. There was none of that stuff. Now they got background checks. They got training courses you have to take. And the reason why I'm bringing all this up is that the training course really opened my eyes to a lot of things. And it's funny because people are going after Ninja for his decisions on what he and his family wants to do. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. He's not telling y'all what y'all need to do. He's saying what he is going to do, and people are upset about it, which is like basically like he has to basically do what other people want him to do, which is asinine, especially coming from the camp of people who are all about, freedom to do what you want and freedom to all the other stuff, right? It just shows that they're hypocrites. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is that in the course, it is telling you to do all the things that Ninja said he does. It says never be alone with any of the players, the teenagers, the young children. You're never alone with any of them. There's always someone else there. If there is any kind of anything that you may see that may be out of the ordinary, you tell anyone, you tell the coach, you tell everyone, the parents. It is all the things that Ninja says that he does to protect himself. Not he made no illusions whatsoever that he had a problem being around young kids, but he said, I'm making this choice to protect myself. Everything that he said that he does is what they teach youth coaches to do. So how in the world is this a problem? This is only a problem by people who are too ignorant to know how you're supposed to act around children in the first place. Why? One, they ain't got no daggone kids, so they don't even know what that even looks like. They're the main ones talking about how to treat kids, but never actually or interact or be around or any kids or even want any kids in the first place. Like, what are you talking about? And then two, they didn't even do even the baseline research on any kind of information on how you, especially someone of a platform of his stature, should be interacting with people who are young. He definitely has young fans. I mean,
I would say that a lot of his fans, the majority are young. So
the majority are young. He's saying, I'm never going to be alone in a room with them. Great. If any of my kids, I have a 14, 13, and 8-year-old, were a fan of Ninja, and he said, I'm never going to be alone in a room with your child, well, thank God, thank you, because I wouldn't want you alone. I don't know you. I wouldn't want you alone with my kid. And if you were, you wouldn't be around and the breathe and go back to your family the next day. So it's great for you and great for me because I don't want to go to jail. It's just like, how is this a problem? This is the most normal take ever, but the problem really is the fact that Ninja's the only one I think probably big enough to speak on these kind of things and know that he's kind of bulletproof, he's kind of cancel proof, so he can say whatever he wants and nobody really can check him because he's that big at this point. But also because it's such a normal take that because he's the only one saying it, people have like their concept of reality is so warped, they think there's a problem. Because none of the other content creators of his stature talk about these things so candidly. Clearly, there's something wrong with him. But no, there's not something wrong with him. There's something wrong with you, person who has a problem with this.
Yeah, again, it really is like he said, I remember a couple years back, he said he doesn't want to game with females. I'm sorry, with women. But because of his wife, right? And then people want to do the whole, here's the thing. They want to do the whole like, if this was like a girl, if Ninja was a girl and she was saying that her husband said, I don't want you gaming with other guys, the reaction would be totally different. Yeah, the people who are on one end would be on the fucking opposite end,
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, nobody actually cares about anything other than pushing their own agenda because they're all hypocrites. Okay, and I'm sorry, I'm being what is the word? I'm just generalizing. Clearly, there are people who do actually care about both topics, right? But still, it's just kind of like I don't have any issue with what he said. I don't know anything about his wife. I think she's also his manager or something. I don't fucking know, dude. But like I've not seen Ninja involved with any fucking problem, like with any real controversy, So it's
and more than likely, as big as he is, if he didn't have the kind of rules and the kind of mindset to stick to those rules that he's had ever since that he got popular, he definitely would have been involved in some controversy or two. But before now, and the only controversies that you can really bring up are just people being upset at some of the things that he says. Like people try to create a beef between him and Kai Cenat when all he said was he said Kai Cenat is the biggest and the best content creator on the planet. That's the first thing he said. They cut that out. They cut that out because that's not like, you can't create beef. He's giving him compliments. But then he said if he kind of wishes that he would have had the ideas to kind of do the things back when he was like the most popular content creator, popular streamer out there, because that he would have loved to be able to kind of do some of those same things. Also kind of talking about the fact that he's like much older now and Kai Cenat's like, young and single. He's married and, all the other stuff that comes with it. It's a different time.
Different time,
yeah. And people made a big deal about it. And just like people keep making a big deal about anything that he says when it's really just like it's them trying to create a narrative and create drama because these people are starved of it. They don't look at these people as normal human beings. Freaking Ninja is married. I guess he's got kids now. I don't know, but he's married, and what he and his wife, the boundaries that they have created, is that's their thing. It has nothing to do with anybody else. No one should be judging them for these kind of things. If his wife has a problem with him streaming with other women, considering at that time period, because here's the context, at that time period, you would see these content creators do dual streams and team up and stuff like that. And considering their communities are really young and immature, they immediately like, oh, ninjas dating, blah, 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 just because they did a co-stream together and they were friendly to one another. Like, why introduce that kind of stuff into your relationship? And he weighed the pros and cons here. Is the added exposure to working with this popular female streamer worth the drama it may bring to my marriage due to immaturity? No. So he didn't do it. The people who complained about that back then, they were all women who wanted to stream with him. So they were their complaints were about the fact that they felt like they were missing out on a bag. That's it. No other reason. And it's really just, it's no freaking different now than it was back then. These people who are using him and his platform for, popularity, and they're just complaining about things knowing damn well they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Yeah, I'm done. Luca? Singer?
All right. Okay. So
I was like, can y'all hear me?
Yes, we heard everything you said.
Okay, because it was silent for like a good 5 seconds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize.
Okay.
Denture. Shout out to me Puppet saying Denture's approach. Okay. What did you mean? Okay. Dentures? Okay. Ninja's approach is completely normal. I use the same approach. It's called being above a reproach. It keeps you out of trouble. Yes. Thank you for the dono, and I appreciate it. And then shout out to Rano, who says, going back to Lil RT, is that he's a 9-year-old rapper who's in a strip club. I'm old too, but I try to be hip.
What?
You know what? I do vaguely recall seeing like a clip of a child surrounded by half-naked women. But I quickly scrolled past because I'm like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to know anything about any of that. But I do want to say this. I think that
it's freaking ridiculous what people do for clout.
Well, yeah, the kids' parents are fucking atrocious, and all those half-naked women being okay with being naked around the child. Yeah, don't let. If I say what I really want to say, I'll get banned, right? Like, you're disgusting.
No, say it, because if I say it, or singer says it, we're being sexist, if we are misogynistic if we say it. If you say it, people gotta shut up and listen.
I'll be honest with you, like, I understand that there's some people, if you're a guy, you can't be abused or anything like that. I know that's like a mentality, but like, again, if these are half-naked women who are willingly allowing themselves to be around a child in that manner, there's something wrong with them too, So they're sick. They're sick fucking bastards. No amount of money would no amount. I'm sorry, like, I cannot relate to that level of desperation. Like, I understand that people go through shit, but like, you got to have some morals somewhere, So the kid's parents are pieces of shit, honestly speaking. And I feel for the kid, and I hope to God that the kid grows up to be an okay person. You never fucking know in these situations. So that's nasty, dude. 9? Ugh. Something wrong with these people, man.
Like I said, anything for clout, because that's all that is. That's for clout, for attention. because no one else who actually cares about their child is taking a 9-year-old to a strip club. But that's what you're doing. And then you're posting it on the internet. It's just kind of like when you see these clearly, obviously poorly acted skits where outrageous stuff happens on TikTok and people are like, oh my God, well, I can't believe this is how society is. No, it's not. This is a skit. Your reaction is the reason why they did it. It's just, hello? Is it on? Is the brain on?
It's not. It's not on, man. All these people do is fucking struggle, man. That's all these people do is struggle. Okay. All right. So what else was there? Oh yeah, let's talk about MoistCr1TiKaL and Sneako's debate. Okay, so I only watched a little bit of it because I was like, man, MoistCr1TiKaL is not a debater. Okay, I'll be honest. I feel like he doesn't have like staunch opinions or more so like strong opinions about certain things. I feel like he goes with the flow about like what's the most popular perspective to have, right? And I especially feel like he feels that way with the whole LGBT situation, the quote unquote trans kids, right? He definitely does not have a staunch opinion on that because he can't even fucking explain himself. Like logic, he doesn't have a Sneako's argument was super asinine, but the fact that Charlie was not able to properly what is the word when you someone makes a terrible dismantle, I don't know, dispute because Charlie wanted to toe the fucking line when it came to the commentary that Sneako had is absolutely just baffling to me. Like, if you don't know how to debate, maybe you shouldn't be debating, folks, man. Like, and I wasn't on the debate team or anything like that. Like, I don't know how to debate, bro. Like, I'm just here, right? But it's just kind of like a lot of Sneako's points are easily like, okay, come on, man. Like, I need you to start being serious for one fucking second, right? And honestly, I mean, Slomo said that he doesn't think that Sneako is smart enough for this. But honestly, I feel like Sneako is quote unquote grooming his audience into being okay when it turns out that he did some weird shit, man. That's what I fucking think. So I'm gonna play this clip and let me just very
while you're getting that done, I will say I do think that when it comes to MoistCr1TiKaL, that there's some people, and I'm not defending him, but I think there's some people who just they have a they don't know how to think on their feet. They don't know how to, like, someone brings a ridiculous counter argument and they don't know how to like focus in on exactly what they just said, think about it critically, catalog all the actual logical responses to that stupidity and then say them out. They just kind of get like locked up. They just don't know what to think or say. And then they just really just don't challenge anything because it's like those cases where you hear about people who are like, man, they look back at like a argument they have with someone and they think about all the things days later that they should have said in that moment, but they didn't say anything. And I think that's a lot of people. That might be MoistCr1TiKaL. I don't know for certain, but I won't just say exactly that he's just kind of like he's intentionally not like, I'm not saying you're saying that, but like that he's intentionally just choosing not to really go there.
No, it's more so he doesn't have a counter argument. Like, it has nothing he toes the line when it comes to certain topics because that's the popular thing to do, but he doesn't have a real opinion or perspective on it because when pressed on it, he's like, oh, I actually do think this is okay. When the main point is
really?
Sneako was using it to counter his argument, right? So Sneako said, I'll just play what Sneako said.
I'm talking about your personal beliefs. Do you think someone in their 20s should be able to marry a 15 or 16-year-old?
To someone in their 20s should be, I mean, I personally wouldn't do it. I don't know many people who would do it, the maturity for people in the teenagers in the West is getting much worse. But there are
We're talking globally. Let's just talk globally. Like, do you think it is okay for, I'm not talking about just you specifically anymore, anyone. Do you think it's okay for anyone in their 20s, an adult, to marry a 15 or 16-year-old?
A 21-year-old, if there was a marriage where the father consented and the daughter consented, and it was both good on both families and they wanted to do it, why am I going to get involved? Why should we get the government involved?
Well,
Why would I tell them if everybody's consenting, if everybody's okay with it, if the parents are okay with it, if nobody's being harmed, if it's going to be okay, if they're both abiding by the rules and they're not hurting each other, why not?
But they're still, like, they're at best a sophomore in high school. They can't consent to something like that.
Okay, so that was the point that Sneako made. That Moist was not able to properly debate because Sneako, and I saw Sneako's making a great point here. No, he's fucking not, right? But
No,
I'm
he's
gonna
not.
say that again. That okay, here we go. And this was Moist. This Sneako like turned it fucking around on him, and he was not able to debate back properly.
Do you believe that somebody can go through hormone therapy? Can they change their gender if they're a child?
I think that's totally fine as long as everyone is consenting.
Okay, do you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
It's fine as long as the parents consent and the kid consents. It's the same argument that Sneako was making, you know? So it's just like, do you have like a real opinion on this? Or are you just saying like, oh, this is the popular thing to say?
Okay, so as long as
If
everyone
your parents are okay with it and you are okay with it, I think that's totally a familial decision to make. Yeah.
Okay, so a child can cut their penis off and take hormone blockers and change their biology forever, but they can't get married?
Well, that's a decision that now extends beyond the family because now you're bringing in a different party. So if you have someone that's your age coming in saying, I want to marry that child, I don't think that can happen under any circumstance.
So,
no.
But it's still a personal decision. You're still deciding.
Because there's
take the other party out of the equation.
Decision.
Yeah, both of them are dumb. Okay, I'm gonna keep it real. If you,
Yeah,
at least when it comes to,
you're right. I hadn't seen this whole thing, so this is all new to me. I saw the part where Sneako said what he said initially about like parents and consent, and I didn't see the rest of this, so that's crazy.
Yeah, so it's like
They're both idiots.
Sneako's points are so easily fucking disputed, but fucking Moist, he couldn't do it, man. He couldn't fucking do it. So like, I just you know, but Sneako, like, here's the thing, like Sneako is also a hypocrite because again, he's all like, why should we get involved? Why should I have an opinion on it? Why should the government get involved, right? But he fucking hates gay people and he hates trans people and he's always fucking yapping about it, right? So it's just kind of like, man, again, you don't actually care about kids because if you cared about kids, and I keep saying kids, if you cared about teenagers at all, you wouldn't be fucking advocating, or I wouldn't do it personally. But
that part. I mean,
what? I mean, like me personally.
No one asked you that question. So why did you only present that when you're trying to separate yourself from what you're about to say?
Well, Charlie did ask him if Sneako would marry a teenager. So.
Oh, he did. Oh,
mm-hmm.
Well.
Yeah. So, like, as someone who also does not advocate for 21-year-olds marrying 15-year-olds, right? There is no world where I would be like, well, actually, I mean, I may not accept it and I may not do it, but you know, there's actually nothing wrong with it. It's like, what are you talking about? And
yeah,
like, again, the conversation
why would you not do
like,
it if you clearly don't think it's a moral problem?
Yeah.
Like, so why would you not do it if you don't think it's a moral problem?
Yeah, it's he said he did answer that it's because he's attracted to girls his own age. That's what he said. Allegedly, I've seen some clips that made me scratch my head. I don't know, but anyway,
yeah, I thought I've seen a clip of him saying a teenager was attractive before, but
yeah,
maybe I don't know.
He was on Omegle or whatever the fuck that shit is called. Yeah, so the conversation became about like the age of consent, right? And like, here's my thing. I understand that like the age of consent is different in each state, right? It's also different around the world, okay? I feel like it comes back to it being like a moral question. I think it's more so morality, because like just because something is a law doesn't mean it's right. You know what I'm saying? Like there were laws that said it was okay to own slaves. So
Mhm.
just because it's a law doesn't mean you hold fast and true to it. I don't think, even though by the law's definition, an 18-year-old is an adult, I don't think that mentally they are mature enough to make certain decisions, you know? That includes joining the fucking army. I definitely don't think that they're mentally mature enough to do that. I don't think an 18-year-old is mentally mature enough to get married. I don't think an 18-year-old is mentally mature enough to do a lot of things, actually. Like I've had people like argue with me about like oh well, you know, what's what's wrong with me dating an 18-year-old as a 30-year-old man? It's just like yeah, morally it's just, you know, you look a little sketchy, you know, you look like a sketchy sketcher, you know, because there's such a wide gap in terms of maturity. Like who I was
Mhm.
at 18 is so like I am a completely different person compared to who I am at 31, and like the life lessons I have, right? So just because the age of consent is 18, that does not mean I think that a 30-year-old should be with an 18-year-old, right? Legally, I can acknowledge that it's perfectly fine because it's legal, right? But like morally, I'm just like, this is weird, right? And
Mhm.
then fucking Sneako was asking Charlie to explain the definition of child. I was like, oh my God, I would have been on this fucking topic, dude. Because I actually know the differences. Like everyone uses like pedophilia as like a blanket term. I actually know like the differences between all of them. Again, I've seen 22 seasons of Law and Order SVU. So, but yeah, so it's just like he was like, explain what a child is, and it's fucking Charlie was fucking struggling. He was struggling to explain what the fuck a child is, right? But like, yeah, I would have been like, yeah, like, you know, pedophilia, what is it? Like 10 and under, right? Um, what is the second one? It's like hebephilia or something like that. And that's like attracted to kids who are on the cusp of adolescence. So that's 11 to 13, 11 to 14. Um, what is some a phebophile, I think that's the next one. That's when you're attracted to 14. The age ranges, I saw 14 and 19, but it would make more sense if it was 14 to 18, I think, but, that's what a phebophile is, right? So, technically, right, if you are 21 talking to a 15-year-old, you're not a pedophile, you're a phebophile, okay? You're a phebophile. So, I think Sneako, you know, I'm not gonna fucking lie, like, you know, I don't wanna put this on his name because I don't know for sure, but he's got some strange tendencies that lean into that 3rd definition, you know what I'm saying? So I
Mhm.
don't know, like, very strange behavior in my opinion.
But, you know, that's
Yeah.
also what people have been accusing Drake of. That is that range, that third one you mentioned. That's what, you know, Drake been, you know, in the DMs quick, fast, in a hurry for a 16-year-old who was she, like a picture of her showed up at like Coachella or something like that, and then, you know, like she's on TikTok and she's like, oh mom, Drake just messaged me, and it's just like, what the.
Oh, and the mom was okay with it? Fucking freak,
Yeah.
honestly speaking. Yeah, no, I think Drake's an ephebophile, personally. I do think that. Yeah, I think Drake's an ephebophile. Um, for sure, because like, some of the videos I've seen, the fact that he, like, is so friendly with young girls, it's very strange. He's also old as dust, and, I'm sorry, he's not that old, but he's not been in, like, a serious committed relationship. He's still old, rapping about bitches, like, come on, dude, like, when are you gonna settle down? You are a man, you know? Like, you are an old man,
And a
okay? Like,
father, you know.
you should yeah, not because against his will.
Oh man.
But yeah, so like, you know, I I think I think Lionel's right. I think people should start using, like, the proper terms, because I will call someone a phebo I will fucking I have no issues calling someone an ephebophile. I will use the correct definition, right? Where it's like, "Oh, okay, I mean, you're attracted to a 17-year-old and you're, like, dust age, right? So a phebophile, right? Like, no, yeah, no, oh, okay. Like you exclusively date 18-year-olds, a phebophile, right? Like, yeah, you're just attracted to 18-year-olds. Like, you just fall under that definition, right? No, no, okay, all right. Like, I'm just, yeah, because people just use like again, even knowing the different definitions of the words and like trying to explain the different definitions makes you look kind of sketchy because how do I like why do I know that, right? But again, 22 seasons of Law and Order Special Victims Unit, you know, like
I do think that's why people just go with pedophile.
Yeah.
Because it's like everyone knows what that term is. So they just leave it at that. They're just like, you know what, this is what you are.
Yeah.
Even though it's a little bit deeper than that, but they're just like, you know, I know you don't know that term, and I'm just not even going to bother going there.
Yeah, Bob trying to explain it.
Do the added explanation of explaining to you what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it just it's people started getting upset. People just started getting upset. So, you know, like I just think that Sneako's a little bit strange, okay? Again, I think Charlie does not have any staunch opinions on the transition topic. I think he's going with like the most popular stance to have when it comes to that topic. And I don't even know if he realized he completely like fell into the fucking trap that Sneako laid when he was like, well, if they have the parents' consent, like, oh my brother, like what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like, come on. So also, like, I don't know, man. So anyway, I watched a Nick Merckx video, and like he actually had the same amount of smoke for Sneako and MoistCr1TiKaL. So I was just like, oh my goodness, like, all right, like this is someone who actually abides by their fucking standards. You know, he was looking a little shaky with the Doctor Disrespect thing, but you know that was also his friend, so there's that as well. But you know, he was like, why a 15-year-old is a little girl? What are you talking about? Like he was like, you know, he was definitely on Sneako about it, but he only tweeted about Charlie, which I think he might be rage baiting. I'm not gonna lie. Like I think he might just because he knows that on Twitter, especially when it comes to the trans topic, oh my god, people freak the fuck out. So I think that's why he did it. He got quote tweeted by Mudahar, aka some ordinary gamer. And he's like, why didn't you talk about Sneako too? And I'm just like, oh, well, he could just link his video and be like, here's this. But I think he was just rage baiting. So yeah, I just think these people, I don't know, some very strange behavior. I was like, I said this on Twitter. I said, like, are they bored? Is it boredom? Because it's like you have so much money that you have access to pretty much anything you want, right? So then it's just like you just start trying different things. Like, is that it? Like, you just get bored and slowly become more depraved? Is that it? Like, what is what's the explanation there? You know,
I think it's always been there. And it's just that they didn't have the social standing to kind of like act out on the things that they wanted to do. Because it's not like it seems like in the year of 2024, so many people are getting exposed for this. But when in the grand scheme of things, it's still not even like a majority of the you know popular content creators out there who are engaging in this kind of that we know of, right? That's engaging in this kind of that we can prove is engaging in this kind of stuff. But I just think it's just that there are people who have had these thoughts when they weren't popular and they just never voiced them or acted out on them because they didn't want to end up in jail, clearly, and they didn't want to, you know, become a social pariah, so they didn't say anything about it. But then they get popular, and then you always got these people. You got your fan base that's acting like you can do no wrong, and anything you do and say, they defend you. And it's not like they don't watch or look at these comments and see the people who super chat them or sub to their streams and spend all this money on them. It's not like they don't see that these people are defending them tooth and nail, no matter what they do or say. I think it just comes a point in time where they just kind of let the barriers down and show who they really are. And we see, and I think that's not uncommon. And like we see that in relationships when you first start dating someone. You try to be on your best behavior. You know, you try not to be as say that all the evil things that are in your head right away, or you know, their laugh is annoying. You try to just ignore it and be like, I could get used to that, and then you realize you can't. And no, your laugh is freaking annoying. You know, it's just like once the barriers come down after you've got, you know, personal with someone for a while, then it's just a lot of the real you comes out. And I think that is just the case with these streamers. The real them is coming out because they just feel like they're bulletproof, but they're not.
What? Whew, let me tell you something. If they were just doing it for, you could not pay me to say some of the shit that comes out of these people's mouths, dude. Like,
yeah, I wouldn't. I don't think they would do that.
Oh no, I don't want certain things attributed to me, dude. Like, you could not pay me. So, you know, like, I don't fucking know what's going on, man. Like, very strange behavior on Sneako's part and MoistCr1TiKaL. Again, I just don't think he has any staunch opinion on this trans topic. He was just saying the most popular thing to say. And, you know, I honestly think neither of them had any, they had no business debating each other. Fucking goofy ass conversation they had, dude. Why is this even a conversation? Like, why? I don't understand. Like, honestly speaking, I am not debating with someone who thinks that it's okay with for a 16-year-old to marry a 21-year-old. Like, I am not debating with someone like that. I'm just gonna be like, oh, okay. And I'm gonna move the fuck on, right? Like, that's what I did with, there was someone else I was having a back and forth with. I was just like, bro, you are a fucking predator. Okay. Like, I don't even want to argue with you because you're a fucking predator. And I don't like you. All right. I don't want to go back and forth. But again, you know, I don't make hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't get hundreds of thousands of views. So maybe, you know, I don't know. You know, we all do strange things for something strange for a little bit of change. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, let's end it on the channel member topics. I do want to say this, no spoilerinos. Deadpool and Wolverine is fucking amazing. So fucking phenomenal. I'm gonna go see that shit again. I am so excited. If you need it, like a stamp of approval, go see Deadpool and Wolverine, especially before you get spoiled. That I was not spoiled at all. And I was just, it was so amazing. Like, I genuinely I loved it. It was just like fan service, you know? And there's some critics who had some issues with it. And again, I feel like a lot of the critics' critiques are valid, but it was also kind of like me thinking like, damn, I'm happy I'm not a fucking critic because I wouldn't be able to enjoy shit, man. You know? So I thought it was amazing.
I think critics watch too many movies.
They watch too many movies, dude.
Yeah, and they just don't know how to, like, I think they are desensitized to the very things that excite us. You know, if your whole job is to watch movies, and I think all of us will kind of fall into this category where some of the things that, like, oh, I know what this is. They're about to set this up. They're about to set that up. Oh, there it is. Big shocker. That wasn't done well, but it really was done well. It's just that you've seen 24 movies this year do the same thing to varying degrees of success. And so, yeah, I just think that they watch too many movies and they don't know how to turn that critical brain off, and they look at everything in the same light. Like, I don't watch. Well, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm gonna see it tomorrow. When I watch Wolverine and Deadpool, I'm not going to go into it like I'm expecting a Oscar-nominated movie. You know, like, I'm not going into it with like, yeah, this is about to be, you know, on that kind of category, and knowing daggone well that's not what people are going to really be like thinking about. Nor is that the kind of movie that people are expecting when they go into the movie theater.
They're just looking for a fun fucking time, dude.
Yeah, they just want to have a good time. Just want to have a good summer action superhero movie. It's not, you know, and the reason the complaints that people have had with the MCU in Phase 4 is that they haven't even been able to deliver that. And so there is going to be a little bit of a, well, thank you, finally. You know, you actually did what people asked for. And so maybe there might be a little bit of a bump in some of the positive, you know, feedback coming from it because it's actually a good movie for once. But the critics are,
that shit was awesome.
The critics are just,
Yeah, they're just
they're good.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
they don't represent the general public.
exactly, and it's like that for every single industry where a critics exists. Like they just become jaded, man. I'm gonna keep it stacked. So shout out to Stone with the dono saying, "I love you, Luca. I love you too." Yeah. So, and at the end of the day, a critic's take is just their opinion. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, even if you fucking disagree with it, depending on the context and the topic. Okay. So anyway, we just move on from that. Let me do my channel member topics and get the fuck up out of here, dude. I need gaming to start actually be interesting again. Like this shit is fucking dry as hell, man. Like goddamn. But anyway, so shout out to Ronald. It was reported that the upcoming Dragon Age game will not require the EA app on the Steam Deck. Thank God, right? I'm not a hardcore PC gamer, but I play my fair share of games. I'm not a fan of
Smart on their
having
part.
many different PC launchers / storefronts, but I understand the competitive nature of having different options. I hate the Rockstar launcher, and I'm not a fan of the new EA app. I feel like I'm turning into one of those PC MR by complaining about it, but I hate the fact of launching an app to launch a game. What storefronts or launchers do you despise when playing PC games? Again, I mentioned this fucking earlier, the Ubisoft launcher. I cannot believe my game got bricked, dude. I'm so fucking bitter about that. Like, man, I was like, damn, like I can understand why people just prefer to use Steam because like, what the fuck, dude? And it's like, I'm not gonna hold you, man. I know technically it's very simple to just launch another, like, it's just like a matter of convenience, right? But like when I saw that Max Payne 3, I think it was that game. I don't know, some game that I bought, right? They were like, you need to launch this launcher. I was just like, I just don't feel like signing up. I just don't feel like I was just being a lazy piece of shit, and I just didn't bother signing up for the launcher, even though it's very simple to do. And then I just never played the game, right? Like, dude, I'm not gonna hold you, man. But definitely that Ubisoft launcher, just because they bricked my fucking game. So and then it was like a known problem. I was looking at the fucking Reddits and the forums, and they're like, yeah, this has been a problem for like 10 fucking years, and like,
Yeah,
I hate that shit. Like, I was so angry. I was so upset, man. Like, I just like Jesus. So yeah,
there are a
that's
lot
why
of
I don't
older
like
games that I guess it was just less people complaining about it, but there's a lot of older games that these publishers put on PC and they did not do well, and they just did not give a damn. Like they were broken and they just never fixed it. And we used to give Bethesda the smoke for allowing the PC community to fix everything for them, but they're not the only ones. Like other publishers did the same thing. The PC community create a mod to fix the problem of a broken game, and then they're just like, all right, well, we're good. They'll just go get the mod and fix that. We're good. No need to go, dedicate the man hours to get this right. Just freaking pathetic.
So yeah, it's got to be the Ubisoft launcher for me. So for sure, fucking bastards, honestly speaking. But did my audio input change? I don't know. Singer, if you're even still there, dude, I'm sorry.
I am.
Okay, go ahead.
To be honest, a bag launcher. I hate to use. I'd probably say EA. Although they have improved it, so it would have to fall to Ubisoft now. Because the EA launcher used to be pretty bad. Yeah, it's because I can't hate on Epic launcher because that's where I get Fortnite, right? So I can't really hate on it. So it'd have to be Ubisoft, I'd agree.
Yeah, I pretty much use all the launchers because I don't really care about where I play the game as long as they're playable. A lot of the ones that are just broken and don't work right, they're older games, which they just refuse to go back and fix. But you look at the more current ones, and they generally work fine, except for EA's games. EA launcher, I still think is absolute. It's doo-doo. It's terrible. It's terrible. And the reason why I say that is because they'll still have current games coming out that still don't play right. That still have a big problem. And these are games that are like came out in the past 3 years. I think part of the reason why EA didn't put college football on PC was due to they just didn't want to fix it. They just didn't want to deal with having to fix it. They didn't want to deal with making sure that it was right. They just didn't care, and it's just like typical EA, man. So yeah, they suck at that stuff, and the EA app, the Origin app was terrible. The EA app is barely better. It's like you came out with a new app. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I can't believe I forgot this. It's not EA. It's the Xbox app. The Xbox app is the worst app on PC by a large margin.
Fucking egregious, honestly. Yeah.
I completely forgot about it because I just dismissed it as garbage. It just blocked it out of memory. Games won't launch randomly for no reason. It'll be syncing data for like hours. Games will just be like launching game, and you'll be on like they'll be like, hey, this is taking much longer than usual. No, it's not. This is typical. Stupid Xbox app. How will your own first-party games perform better and have more features on Steam than they do on your own freaking app? Like, come on, man. Like, you can't be this bad at this stuff. But they are. And it's just, it's ridiculous. Starfield had DLSS, all the upscalers on Steam before they had it on the Xbox app. And you claim you want PC gamers to jump in on Game Pass on the PC app, but that's the worst place to play your games. Your games. Any day one games that show up on PC and go into PC Game Pass, nearly everybody decides to just buy those games on Steam anyway. And why?
Correct.
Because they actually work.
Mm-hmm.
They came out with that game. What was it? Everybody, I can't remember. Everybody wants to live, or nobody wants to go to sleep. Whatever the hell that game was, I don't know. But this, like, the game had none of the upscalers that were available in the Epic Game Store and Steam. It had none of that stuff. The new game that just came out just now, Nobody Wants to Die, which is actually pretty good. I bought that on Steam because I just know it's going to perform better, just like everything else that comes out. So it's just, yeah, it sucks. It's the worst app ever.
Yeah, but yeah, man. Listen, thank you. Shout out to Ronald for that, because yeah, I could, man, fuck Ubisoft, dude. But shout out to Phil saying, I thought SBI had no effect on MK1 at launch because the DEI wasn't there, but they finally got us with that damn gender bending of Cyrax and Sector. We've been begging for at least one female character in the next pack, and they skipped over 16 other female.
I mean, he's not wrong.
They skipped over 16 other female characters, even more if we count the NPCs and TV characters, which are canon, just to gender swap 2 established characters to dodge backlash for new backlash. Is there an established game franchise that you love where gender bending certain characters, we'll say B-list and below, would affect your enjoyment of the story/game? On the flip side, is there one you hate where gender swapping would actually make you more interested in the story/franchise? If Dante was gender swapped to look like Bayonetta, I'd probably be more interested in DMC 3 through 5. Oh man, let me tell you something. I fucking love Dante. That's my man. But okay, so is there an established game franchise that you love where gender bending certain characters would affect your enjoyment of the story/game? Let me think about this for a second. Because for sure, 100%, there definitely are. I just have to think about like what they are. I'm not gonna fucking hold you, because this is just because it's on my mind right now, because they're coming out with a remake and they're talking about like the 4th game and all that stuff. But if they're not gonna do this, but if they ever decide to gender bend fucking Geralt, I would have such a problem with that. Like, I would throw a fucking fit, dude. I'm not gonna hold you. I would have an issue with that because Siri is right there. Siri is right fucking there. I would play a game with Siri, right? But I would not play a gender bent Geralt. It's just no, okay? There was like, it's not like a gender bent sort of thing. I started playing Dishonored 2, and I played quite a bit of it before I was like, let me just go back to Corvo because I just prefer Corvo's moveset significantly more than Emily. So there's that. Is there any other game franchise where I would be like, what the fuck? Oh yeah, if they gender bent Isaac from Dead Space, I would not like that either. Because why? Like, why would you do something like that? What's the point, right? So yeah, like when it comes to like established characters for franchises I love, where I'm just like, there's no fucking there's like no reason to do this. Yeah. For a franchise that for one that would make me more interested, The Boys. Okay, The Boys comic is fucking disgusting, and by disgusting I mean it's just bad. Like the writing is atrocious. It is horrendous, right? Like it's just so bad. The TV show, regardless of how people may feel about season 4, is significantly better than the comic, and they have gender swapped and race swapped multiple characters in that show, right? So A-Train is white in the comics, okay? What else? Stormfront Stormfront is a guy in the comics, right? What was the girl's name that Homelander was sucking on her titties for her breast milk or whatever? What was her name?
Firecracker.
No, the first one for season 1.
I forgot her name, but yeah, she was running the program.
Yeah, she is also she's a guy in the comics, right? So I have an issue with them gender swapping these characters just to have it so Homelander is fucking them. Like I have an issue with that. That being said, like there was like instances where Homelander was talking about, I think there was like some homosexual relations with Homelander and Soldier Boy, I believe, something like that, right? But anyway, but like The Boys has a bunch of gender swaps and race swaps, and it is significantly better than the fucking source material. I'm sorry, but that source material is very bad. Like I understand somehow there's some people who love it. I don't get it. You know, I'm not really one who advocates for changing the source material, but that shit sucks in my opinion. Okay, so I'm like, yeah, go by all means change that shit. Yeah, are there any other franchises that I hate that would make me more interested? That is a great question because I feel like there are some games that I would play if the main character was a pretty girl. Okay, pretty girl. I would definitely. Shout out
The
to
Last of
Aloy.
Us. Oh, there you go. He's Horizon. Okay, I thought you were thinking about The Last of Us.
Nothing could make me play that game. I'll be honest with you. I have no interest in that story. It just does not appeal to me at all. Nothing could make me play that. No, but I'm talking about Horizon. You know, yeah, absolutely fucking not. What other game franchises exist that I'd be more interested in if there was a girl? I feel like there's a lot, man. I like playing as a girl. I think it's especially a pretty girl. I think it's fun. I enjoy that. So yeah, but
so do I.
Yeah, right, exactly. But I don't
The
like
mods go hard. The mods go hard.
That's not the only thing that's hard, right? Okay, sorry.
Oh my! That was good though. I like that.
That was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Gregor, you're right. I feel the same fucking way, dude. If they gender bent Kratos, yeah, I'd have a problem with that, and that seems like something.
When I was gonna go, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, gender bent Kratos makes no sense whatsoever.
I was gonna go with Master Chief. That's another one that would make absolutely zero sense. We already know it's a dude. Like, I mean, you can't even beat around it. Maybe I don't know.
But there are a lot of female Spartans, so if they decided to like introduce like a lock kind of Spartan that was a woman, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I'd be kind of fine with that. Just because there's so many female Spartans to begin with anyway. So
yeah, but like if they tried to change Master Chief, like
that would be a problem.
And then people will be like, "You just hate women." They didn't know. I would throw a fucking fit. You know, like fuck y'all, man.
I'd also have a fit if they tried making Marcus or any of the original cast of Gears who played around with any of them, even race swapping them. You'd be like, no, don't do that. No. Marcus and Dom and all that needs to stay exactly the way they are. And Cole.
Can you imagine if they changed Dom to a woman and
Oh.
and then created some kind of love triangle with Marcus.
No, I tell you. They make Marcus black, they make Cole white, and they make Dom a woman. Boom! Recipe for disaster right there. But no. So I mean, any that would benefit. I mean, a lot of games I play is kind of like create your own character. There isn't the main character is what you want it to be. So it's really hard to be like, well, which way would it be? So it'd have to be a fixed character, and in that case, what fixed character games would it even make sense? Like a Dragon wouldn't make sense. Persona, it might make sense.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
I'll play
Joker,
Persona regardless.
yeah,
Play that
yeah.
shit
But
regardless, but
like if Joker was female, I'd be cool with that. Sure.
I don't think anybody would care.
Yeah.
Joker is such a blank slate of a character.
Mhm.
He doesn't have a personality, so it just wouldn't even matter whether he's a man or a woman. It's really not about him whatsoever. It's about the other characters. I think Atlas kind of took a page out of the BioWare playbook when it comes to creating awesome side characters to surround your main character with, and really like the focus and the things that you think about and you remember are like awesome villains in that game, awesome side characters that you can romance. That is the draw. It's not Joker. People barely half the time you be like Joker. Oh yeah, the main character. You just you don't even really care about him, in particular.
That is correct. I completely forgot about that. Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. Now I've seen some, if you look at Lightning and look at Cloud.
Isn't that wait a second? Isn't that
Cloud does cross-dress, and you could make Cloud easily a woman, and it'll be perfectly fine.
You think so?
He has.
No,
yeah,
I don't think so.
I've seen a lot of fan things that I think it would be fine. No, I think it would, because he kind of has.
Wait. How was Cloud a worse male version of Lightning, and Cloud came out first?
Sense. Yeah,
that makes no sense.
That doesn't make
and
any sense.
I do like Lightning. But yeah,
I hate Lightning. But yeah, that makes no sense. It's just he came out before her.
I think Cloud would be fine, because I have seen a lot of the fan art. If Cloud was obviously, and it works, right? It would work if you decided
not with the
to make
fans.
Cloud a female. Well, I mean, to be fair, you've already lost a lot of the diehard fans anyway by doing this remake crap. So I mean, you may as well go all in and make Cloud a girl. Sure.
No. One, I like the remakes. Two, no. Just let's just not. Let's just not do it. But I agree with Gregor's comment though. He said if all the female characters in the first Descendant were fully armored in layers, and the males were wearing banana hammocks, nobody. Wait a minute, hold on. I didn't read that last part.
You said, "Oh, you agree with him?" Oh, okay.
I was like, wait a minute, hold on now. the first part where he's talking about if the women were covered up, nobody would be playing it. I agree with that. Then I saw the whole banana hammock thing, and he just tried to put me. I saw what
he really set you up, man.
He sure did. That was a good one.
I'm actually gonna need the chat to calm down with these allegations. This is crazy right now. The allegations.
It's okay. We accept you, Singer. No, that's a good point, because let me tell you something. Well, I might have been more interested in Life is Strange 2 if I could play as an older sister with a younger sister, right? Now here's the thing, right? They don't know how to fucking write, okay? I'm not gonna fucking hold you.
They know how to make very good premises, and they don't know how to write it up, finish it up. Yeah, they don't know how to
That's why I didn't play Life is Strange 2. Life is Strange, the ending of that pissed me off so badly, and Before the Storm pissed me off so badly. I was like, no, I'm not playing Life is Strange 2.
That first episode won awards. The first episode is fantastic. It's like when people say some video games are like art. That first episode of Life is Strange 2, episode 1 is like a movie. It's art. It's really good. The problem is that it seems as if it seems as if like the good writers there like went on to work on other projects immediately after that, and then left it to the not even the B team but the C team, and
Goddamn, the
they're
D team,
writing.
man.
The writing from there just went all downhill. It was pretty bad, and so that just tends to happen with them all the time. Though they'll create a great plot and great premise, and then like just really just get completely ish to bed after that. I do wonder when it comes to, because Don't Nod isn't involved with Life is Strange at all anymore. They've kind of cut ties with Square Enix, who owns the IP. Now it's that other, what was the name of the other studio that was like doing support studio for Don't Nod? Deck Nine. Yeah, Deck Nine is now the lead developer on Life is Strange. Anything Life is Strange.
They're the ones who pissed me off after that last
they're not
episode
much
of
better.
Before the Storm. Oh my god, I was just, like I said, I was like, you know what? I'm not playing any game in this franchise like ever again. But they're bringing my girl Max back, so unfortunately, I will be fucking seated. I will be seated. Unfortunately, I know that writing's gonna be so trash, but I'm gonna be there because I love Max. Okay, so they got me. They fucking got me, guys. Yeah. Goddamn, dude. Like, that shit is so annoying. Another game where I'd be annoyed if they gender swapped. Spider-Man. You don't have to fucking gender swap Peter. There's plenty of fucking female Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's Gwen doing there? Bring Gwen in, you know? Like, I would have, oh god, the fit I would fucking throw. And people would be calling me like a fucking pick-me and saying I hate women. And I'd be like, you know what? You guys can suck my balls, okay? Like, I don't care. Don't do that shit. I already have an issue with them pushing him to the fucking background for Miles' sake, you know? So.
Have you seen Fate Grand Order?
No.
And the games? Well, there's a character called Alstofel. Yeah, it's a really convincing chick, but it turns out it's a dude. Like they already do that kind of things in games anyway. And you could obviously, a lot of characters have a bit more feminine side to him. That's why I think Cloud would work, because, he's not so hard-jawed,
What?
Cloud isn't. Nah, look at him in the remake. He's,
He barely talks. He's scowling at everybody the entire game. he's angry and yeah. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Shout out to Ronald saying, would Aloy be better as a man? I mean, I don't think much could really improve.
Nah, there's no personality. It just doesn't matter if she's a woman or a man. It's just like she needs a personality transplant.
Yeah, like I do agree with Dai. I do think that she would have gotten less backlash if she was a guy. People don't. I mean, of course, there's plenty of stoic male characters, but people don't really comment on them very often, right? So I think she would have gotten less backlash for being like having no personality if she was a guy. Yeah, I can agree with that for sure. But let me tell you something, Ronald. No, okay, I would even be less interested in that game if Aloy was a guy. Okay, like hell fucking no. And I was saying this, I was like, if they had made Aloy attractive to me, I would have been more inclined to play it. But you know what? I get called a fucking freak. Okay, I get called, what is it? A gooner? Is that what they call it? Is that the thing now? The terminology?
I don't
what? Fucking know. I don't.
What's the term?
Gooner, I think.
A crooner? What did you say?
Let's see here.
I've never heard that.
Gooning. A gooner is an individual who practices gooning, which is a form of masturbation that involves edging for a long period of time, causing a hypnotic trance-like state. By extension, derogatory. An individual addicted to sexual or sexualized content. Yeah, they would call me a gooner, and I'd be getting so much shit, but I'm like, I'm sorry. I just don't, like if she was more attractive to me, I'd be more inclined to actually beat that fucking game. But like,
I'm sorry, not even that. Like you could turn her into what's her face from Tales of Arise? You could turn her into that, and I would still no, because the game's ass. But hey, you know.
Oh, you mean the girl that can't be touched in Tales of Arise?
Yeah. But like, you know. The main
She ain't
character.
got a lot of personality either, honestly. Let's just keep it a
No,
buck.
no,
I really
no.
enjoy Tales of Arise, but like her personality don't come out until like halfway through the game. Just like 30 hours.
I'm sorry, which character are you talking about?
Girl, electric girl who can't be touched.
No,
Shion. Yeah, that's it.
Shion?
Shion, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm just like, who the fuck?
No. Slow-mo, you took it. I said if Aloy looks like Shion.
Oh, okay.
Not the
you still wouldn't care.
I still wouldn't care because the game's ass. But because Shion is a really pretty, beautiful character.
She's gorgeous. Her and Alphen, they're gonna make such pretty babies, honestly speaking. Like Alphen was so handsome.
His ass is dumb as a fuck.
I know. He's so fucking stupid, dude. I had so many issues with the characterization and writing for that fucking game, dude. Oh my goodness. But I love that game. Genuinely. I do love it. So
yes.
I thoroughly enjoyed it, but every time I think about going back to play it again, it's normally about like the combat. Like I really enjoyed the combat and the way the characters were designed, the art, the world is beautiful, but like them characters and them conversations just make me go, nah, I just can't do it. It just like, how many times did you have a cutscene that was like a good 10 minutes long? Now you're talking about the like the later ones where it was just ridiculous how long they were, like over an hour, right?
They just didn't have good pacing. Like there were some sections where it was just too much combat without a break, and there were other sections where it was just too many cutscenes without a break. So so you know, But
they would do this thing where every character in your party had to have their piece, their talk about something that was you know their personalities. You already know what they're going to say, and it's just kind of irrelevant to what's going on. Like, I don't care. Like, no one cares what Wolf Boy has to say about, Alphen. No one cares at all. Like, shut up, Wolf Boy. Like, why is this part of the conversation?
To be fair, it's like, if that part was it, but like, if you see some of the mods for Sarah, like Hot Mummy energy, like, I mean, I'm gonna call it what it is. Like, Kazara is, it's like,
I don't know what's going on. So anyway, we could just
what are you talking about, Singer? You want to expound upon that? I don't understand.
I prefer if he didn't.
No, I wouldn't expand on that.
So shout out to Capono, Arcade, Bless, Yobi, Red Baron, Aaron, Sickness, Scrotum, Phil, Iman, Miko, Meat Puppet, Metrochan, Corey, Iman, Damien, Tevin, Ronald, Dealer, MJ, Dirk, Lord Lorenza, DC, Big Daddy, Sub Negro, Jazzy, Dom, Duckman, Sycamore, Zion, Brisky, Light Stripe, Pepitio, Nautical, Jet, Envy, Slomo, and Hannibal. Appreciate you guys still being members of the channel. Appreciate all the super chat support. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate everyone who hung out with us here and everyone who's going to hang out with us later, who's going to watch later, right? So thank you so much. Do you want to? No. What are you doing, Lou? Okay, so anyway, moving on from that. Slomo gave his opinion on the Assassin's Creed stuff at the beginning of the show. Die if you want to listen to that. I love you guys.
I think Die's also kind of making a little joke.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you guys have anything else to say before we get out of here?
Nope.
Nah. Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, I do actually.
Oh boy.
Play Marvel's Rivals. Marvel Rivals. It's a fantastic game. It's what Overwatch should be. They ruined Overwatch. This is peak Overwatch back in the Overwatch 1 days. It is well worth your time. And yeah, play it. Play it if you have the opportunity. It is peak Overwatch gameplay.
Well, I have something to say. Go watch Deadpool and Wolverine. Okay, that shit was fucking awesome. Okay.
Well, I got something to say too.
Okay.
I just don't even remember, so I'm just going to just leave it.
Old
mean, to
age
be-
beating ass
I-
again.
yeah, exactly. I mean, to be fair, it is his time to take his meds and have a nap. You know.
Mhm. Yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry. I was playing Fortnite, so I was a little distracted, so I couldn't think of that.
Oh,
Let's
that's
get out of
okay.
here. Let's go.
Yeah, because I want to go to bed. So I'll catch you guys
Mhm.
later. Bye.